Sean P. Diddy Combs will take his bail hearing now to the New York Court of Appeals, like Tupac did. What really is keeping him from getting bail? It's the wiretaps. Let's get into some of the straight game.
Life is like cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor. Click on what appears to be that little bell notification if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game. Hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, what's really keeping Sean P. Diddy Combs from obtaining bail is basically this. When Combs' authority or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action against him, including in or about the late 2023 following public allegations of Combs' crimes, Combs and members of and associates of the enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through attempted bribery, to stay silent and not to report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. On phone calls, Combs and other members and associates of the enterprise, among other things, provided these victims and witnesses with false narratives of events in effort to conceal Combs' crimes. Combs caused these calls to be recorded on at least 2 occasions. Understand what that means. That means Sean P. Diddy Combs, despite what he was doing and the consciousness of guilt in calling people on the phone, trying to get them to change their story, not tell the truth, and this was just in 2023. And so they got phone calls. We don't know if they even have more phone calls as to the recent conversations in dealing with witnesses that may be going to testify against him when he goes to trial. What I find ironic is this, like I said before, the same situation that Tupac was in, Sean P. Diddy Combs is now in. Dealing with similar, not the exact same thing, but similar activities, right? Dealing with sex, dealing with women or a woman. And basically they're saying that even Sean P. Diddy Combs' lawyer basically saying there's just one victim, right? And I'm thinking they're saying that one victim is Cassie from that perspective, right? And so they say they have 50 witnesses, but more importantly, in going up for bail, the prosecution is basically arguing that Sean P. Diddy Combs is a serial obstructor, meaning what I just read to you out of the filing, basically not to report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement on phone calls. Combs and other members and associates of the enterprise, among other things, provided these victims, witnesses, with false narrative of events in an effort to conceal Combs' crimes. Combs caused these calls to be recorded on at least 2 occasions. Now, once again, what that tells me is when they raided his house, they got a bunch of tapes. That's why it kind of took so long. They were going over the evidence. And so they got these tapes. They got the tapes of him recording phone calls and things of that nature of people, him trying to give people false narratives, trying to get them to change their story, trying to bribe them, offer them money, and all of these other things. And so it's sad. It's really, really sad, man. Just like you say, I would say 2 months ago, you go from a $61 million, $60 million house in not Malibu, Beverly Hills. You got a $24 million house in Star Island down in Florida. You got condos here in New York and all of these other things. But he just couldn't chill. Then you go back to, like I said once again, the same process that Tupac had to go through. Sean Puffy Combs is trying to get out on a pretrial bail, right? He's appealing, trying to get out pretrial before his trial actually begins, right? Tupac, on the other hand, was trying to get out on an appeal bond, basically after he was found guilty of forcibly touching the girl on the buttocks, right? They basically tried to say that Tupac, did certain things, and we come to find out later down the line that he really didn't do anything, and the only thing that they locked Tupac up for was forcibly touching the girl on the buttocks. This situation with Sean P. Diddy Combs is totally different, and had it not been for that Cassie tape, I believe he would have been able to get bail. Some people are saying he should have got bail because Bill Cosby got bail. Who else? It was a couple of other people that got bail. What's the guy name? Not Epstein, but Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein had got bail, and a few other people that had got bail. So they basically saying that Sean P. Diddy Combs should have got bail. But like I said, the difference between those guys and Bill Cosby, Weinstein, and a few other people is the fact that there was that tape of Cassie. And when you watch that tape, the person that Sean P. Diddy Combs presented himself to be in public, brother love, and love is this and love is that, was totally different from the person that we seen when he was beating on Cassie. It was totally different. So now it gives you a different idea, a different look at who he is and what he represents. So much so that when you go into all of the stuff that came out, like I said, with Keefe D and what he said, you begin to believe it all. Here we are once again. But the thing that's preventing him from getting out on bail, I mean, the money, he might flee, he might, try to get away or fly to a country that doesn't have an extradition treaty with United States. Yeah, all of that's possible. But him trying to obstruct, call witnesses and tamper with witnesses and all of those things are the things that's really preventing him from getting out on bail. Like I said, because they know people are still susceptible to taking bribes and money and so forth. And it's got to be hurting him right now. Like, dude, so he will be going back to court again. He'll be going back to court again. He's going to definitely go in front of the Court of Appeals because he got that kind of money where, like you see, he went for bail after being arraigned. He went for the bail hearing and the judge said no. Then today he went for another hearing in front of another judge and that judge said no. So the next step is to basically take it to the New York Court of Appeals like Tupac did. Tupac had to go to the Court of Appeals in order for him to get bail, and his the condition that his was under was Tupac's had to be a cash bail from that perspective, with no other restrictions involved in that situation at that particular time. So yeah, you've seen it here, man. Look, this is what they basically got. They basically saying, look, for this guy to, Combs' authority, when his authority, his ego or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action against him, including in or about late 2023 following public allegations of Combs' crimes, Combs and members and associates of his enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through attempted bribery, to stay silent, right? And not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. On phone calls, Combs and other members and associates of the enterprise among other things, provided these victims and witnesses with false narrative of events in an event to conceal Combs' crimes. Combs caused these calls to be recorded on at least 2 occasions. Yeah. So that's what's preventing him from getting out of jail. You know, it's a lot of other things. Like I said, they say he might run, but knowing that he's the type of guy, you know, to try to obstruct, to try to bribe witnesses and things like that, I think that's what's affecting the judge more than anything. Another thing, there are a lot of people who are afraid right now, and Sean P. Diddy Combs, knowing that he's been indicted, right? It wouldn't surprise me if he had tapes and stuff like that he would start releasing them. You know what I mean? He would start releasing the tapes. Like I said, once again, it's surprising to me that when charged under a RICO Act, they say they have 50 witnesses, but only one person locked up. He didn't do it by himself. And they say it in the indictment that he didn't do it by himself. So I'm waiting for other people to be arrested involving and who are involved in this alleged conspiracy or RICO case involving sex trafficking and so on and so forth. I don't see Puffy taking a plea at all. You know what I mean? Unless it's a plea for no jail time. You know what I mean? And they give him time served. I don't know if that would be sufficient enough. Like I said, once again, we got to basically see what kind of evidence they really truly have, because right now it's all allegations and we haven't heard anything from anybody else from that perspective. So like I said, once again, when we talk about the law, the facts, and what that really means, we don't really understand fully what they have to present along the lines of evidence. We've heard, you know, I asked people, where's the young lady Christina, and who was supposedly Sean P. Diddy Combs' right-hand girl. We haven't heard from her. I'm thinking, like I said, most likely she's already made a deal with the government, because like I said, there's no way he could be arrested and she not be included in it, you know, based on what they knew from the Little Rod case. So that's the part that bothers me the most. When you got a RICO case, you know, and it seemed like it's going down the same path that the Tupac case was going down. You know, it was supposed to be all of this and all of that, and these people were involved. Y'all remember Tupac was out front of the courthouse and he was doing that interview, and he was like, you know, I'm supposed to be in concert with some guys, but where they at, right? Why am I the only one being charged? And the guy asked him, so you want them? He said, no, I don't want nobody to go to jail, but I don't want to go to jail for something I didn't do. You know what I mean? It seems like it's coming across that same kind of way. Not to say that Diddy didn't do nothing, because we know that he did. We've seen the Cassie tape. You know what I mean? And, you know, from all of the allegations, they say they have 50 witnesses. I'm sure some of those people might have been present for some certain activities and things like that. That's not what I'm saying. But like I said, when you talk about a RICO case, you know, you expect more than just the person who they say was in charge of the operation to be locked up. And that's in any RICO case, in any racketeering case. Rudy Giuliani, even recently with the election case, trying to overthrow the election, they got hit with the RICO. And it was a bunch of them that got arrested for the RICO case that, you know, trying to basically overrule the election or undermine the election or steal the election or whatever it was that they were charged with. Rudy Giuliani, who was famous for charging people, mafia figures, with the RICO case, actually got hit with a RICO case. But it was a bunch of them guys, him and other lawyers, who were basically in concert trying to overthrow the election when Joe Biden had gotten elected. So that's the reason why I say that. You know, if you follow along what that means. But like I said, the wiretaps, man, the phone conversations, and just all of the violence. They found the guns. But more importantly, I think it's, like I said, him abusing Cassie like he did, and just showing no remorse at that particular time. And then to come to find out, even when things were getting heated for him, you know, like I said, he was trying to bribe witnesses. And like I said, somebody recorded the conversation. They got phone conversation, whether it be from Diddy's house, somebody recorded conversation. I best believe they're gonna use that as evidence in court. So yeah, chime in, guys. Tell me what you guys think. But it is a fact that he was recorded on the phone trying to bribe witnesses, manipulate witnesses, change the narrative, and have it his way once again. Yeah. So comment below. Tell me what you guys think about that, man. And overall, like him just being locked up himself, nobody else being locked up. Tell me what you guys thinking about that when it's supposed to be a RICO case. Okay? Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.